That's what I started to learn about myself. I was like, I just wanted to, get rich, just put it that way, and have a life of freedom. So I built a small team, got an office, the whole thing, bunch of contracts, and then from there, that cash flow fund. So the hotel is like one tower, and the other tower is a residential hotel. So you have two sides, and you can rent out your residential units to the hotel guests when it's fully booked, so on and so forth. Compared to a hotel room, you'll get an entire condo, right? Full kitchen, the whole thing. And he took me under his wing and taught me basically. I became his intern. I was just running, getting coffee for the guy, also running down, getting contracts signed, make sure the cleanings are done. And this wasn't like an agreement thing. This wasn't a thing where, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna be my intern. This wasn't that. It was more like, yeah, okay, hey, go downstairs and get this for me. Oh, I have this. Go get this signed for me. It wasn't any structure around it. His personality is not a structured personality. He's just more like on the fly. Just call me, hey, I need to get this done. Get this done for me. Okay, right? I'll just do it. I was just listening, and that happened for a while. And then one day I get a call, and this was the life-changing moment. I get a call from him that says, "Hey, I have some guests that need a place. All my places are booked. Can I take over your condo for the weekend?" Again, because I rented a condo close to the club, which is like 1 block away at the time. Hence to my home security job, I was able to get one. But anyway, to fast forward the story, he said, "I'll give you 2 grand for the weekend." I was like, he's like, "Yeah, just leave on Friday. Come get it back on Monday. I'll give you $2,000." I'm like, "No problem. I'll do that." He's like, "Don't clean it. I got it. I'll give you 2 grand." I left, came back, 2K cash in my hand, and I did that. I was like, that was fast. I didn't do anything. I just left, came back, and it's like shit. At that time, my entire rent for the entire month was $1,800. So me being me, my light bulb went off. I'm like, if I could do this, I'm in. Like, let's do this thing. Whatever it is, like, can you do that again? He's like, yeah. And he did it again. It's like, can you do it again? Did it again. I was like, if I get another condo, can you do it for that one too? No problem. But this wasn't a guy you could ask questions directly to, like, and at the point I didn't know what questions to ask. Like, what websites are you using? How are you getting these people to rent these places? How are you getting your pricing? How are you marketing? Didn't think of any of that. Look, you're sending me the money, I give you the keys. That was good enough for me at the time. I'm in my early 20s, 23, 24. You give me 2 grand in a weekend, man. I'm in. Like, I'm not gonna asking too many questions, right? Just give me the cash and I'm gone. Anyway, that became good after interning. I kind of understood what he was doing, copied the contracts, etc. And then I leased out 7 condos over, I want to say, 2.5 years. And so now I was completely independent, making money doing short-term rentals. And from there, it just evolved. I started getting calls. Hey, can you do that for me from one building, another building? Can you do that for me? And then it turned into a situation. Then over the years, I built it up to 62 management contracts, 2 boutique hotels, and it just took off from there. And as the money rolled in, I kind of just slowly forgot about music and engineering because, I was like, the money's good. It was like, it's funny how when you're younger, you want to do certain things, right? But then what's the core? What's the basis behind all of that? Really, I just wanted to make a bunch of money, right? That's what I started to learn about myself. I was like, I just wanted to, get rich, just put it that way, and have a life of freedom. So I built a small team, got an office, the whole thing, bunch of contracts, and then from there, that cash flow fund, the master leasing, with then what they call a rental arbitrage, which I did not know I was doing at the time. I was very organic. From there, just then I was able to actually acquire my own places and evolve from there. So that one journey leads into where we are today, where just vacation homes in a few places and pushing forward. And then I got privy to to Pace Morby's method after COVID, because COVID was nuts for us, right? We had to shut down our hotels temporarily. They were fining $10,000, $15,000 a day if you had anyone in them. So we had brand new hotels that vacant, freshly furnished, vacant for, I want to say, over 8 months, which is crazy for us to carry that. That was nuts. So we had to, you had to get creative with the financing and exiting and you name it, right? So now I understand the situation of when we help homeowners get out of the situation they're in. Because before I've been in that situation post COVID where it's like, all right, we have all this carrying costs, nothing to do. So we had to find a creative way to actually exit those deals, and which we did, which was great. And I kind of kept the cash flowing properties and built from there, right? And now jumped into Pace Morby. I want to say um, uh, a year and 2 months or a year and a month, something like that, to build up some cash flow while we're transitioning into assisted living. And yeah, that's the fast story, right? I could talk about this all day, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, we love it, man. We love it. I
Great
didn't know it was
story,
all
bro.
that.
This entire thing anyway, just you could chop that up and shorten that story, but it was a long-winded answer.
No, you're
No, that was
good.
beautiful.
That was great. We can kind of transition a little bit into what you're now taking on. Obviously, you talked a lot about how you're in the short-term market, rental arbitrage, and everything. But now I hear you're in the assisted living facilities area and market. So I was just curious, what like made you shift to that market and like what inspired that?
Yeah, so um, put it this way. I was looking at the fastest way to wealth, right? And really started analyzing things. And I've come to the realization that buying businesses is the fastest way to get there, and rolling up businesses, right? Getting accounts and selling deals, that's one way, right? It's great. Buying assets, that's great. But if you look at the wealthiest in the world or in the nation, it's all about buying businesses and consolidating cost and finding synergies between these different facilities that you acquire in any business, right? And really growing from there, right? And I love the hospitality part of short-term rentals, right? Love that. Love the real estate component. So you take those two and you couple it with and look at against you put it up against assisted living facilities and you realize there's a lot of synergies there, right? And I always had this weird thing throughout my journey when I said to myself, what if I just get like I don't want to do long-term rentals in these condos, but what if I just get someone that's going to stay there for a long time, And assisted living is basically that, right? Once they move in, they stay there for the rest of their life, basically, right? And you really get to service them. But my mom's a nurse; she's a nurse's manager at Florida Community Health, and when I was a kid growing up, she used to work these night shifts where at these older people's houses. It's called in-home care. So I will spend the night with her at some of these places, and she worked at an ALF, and I didn't know that until I got into the business and I mentioned it to her. She's like, "Did you know that's where we were when you were younger?" I was like, "No, I didn't know." So it's funny how it came back around full circle, and also to have more of an impact. I mean, there's only so much impact you could have with entertaining people, just having fun in bikinis and parties at all these vacation spots, but more impact, more care towards someone's well-being and quality of life, and that's what assisted living actually allows me to do. And not only that, the market is ripe for the picking, right? I was in short-term rentals very early, since 2010, 2011. Airbnb was brand new back then, right? I think they started in '08. But assisted living, it's a fresh market. There's a lot of consolidation going on in the sector, with Welltower buying Affinity Living 2 months ago for $1 billion. HCA buying out Brookdale, which is the assisted living leader nationwide with 60,000 beds out of 1.2 million beds available nationwide. So there's a lot of room for consolidation. And that was very attractive to me. And to exit to these bigger private equity firms, that's what they're looking for. Big consolidations, big deals, big numbers. I mean, they don't even look at deals if they're not past 250 million. And that's the lower end of the market. Mid market for the PE firms is 500 million to $1 billion, right? And then you have the EBITDA multiples for these facilities. So those are multiples of 8, 10, 20, depending on the EBITDA spread. So if you have 20 multiple on an EBITDA spread of, let's say, 500 million, you're talking billions of dollars instantly, right? On one exit. That's an entirely different game. And that attracted me too also. So I built a board, very strong board with over $70 billion in deals, uh, IPOs, strategic exits, all in their career. And now we're going after these deals and consolidating them. So that was a transition for me. I really dove into the market, took my knowledge, applied it to this, and say what's my long-term goal with building wealth and how I could really stretch this thing out. And that's how I transitioned into it pretty much.
That's incredible. That is an incredible story, bro. I love that. And you're not wrong with the multiples. It's crazy how
Yeah.
much in this world it adds on. It's nuts. But appreciate that, brother.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's a fun journey too, man. It's all good. It's all good fun. None of this stuff. Just to be clear, if anyone is watching, none of this stuff is actually hard. I don't really think anything is hard, really. It's just, are you willing to get the work done? And if you look at it like not like work, but like a big game of having fun and figuring things out on a daily basis, things that may seem stressful or like a little bit of a burden, that slips away very fast if you just have some fun with it and try not to take yourself too seriously. Because I don't take myself too seriously, but I know that every day just move the ball a little bit down the line, and eventually shit changes. You could start knocking doors, and one time you're gonna leave and you knock one fucking door, and the entire direction, entire life switches. That happened to me twice, where everything just from like that to that. I could have never predicted that, but you have to be open to be in that flow and welcome that into your life and actually take that path and have some fun with it, being able to try new things. So, and that's how I fell into this sector, right? Healthcare.